All right, Yankees fans, let's talk about what's really going on here because things are getting crazy. The New York Yankees are standing at the edge of elimination heading into Game 3 of the American League Division Series, and the tension is sky high. Down 2-0 against the Toronto Blue Jays. This isn't the position anyone expected the Yankees to be in. A team that looked dominant on paper, a team that had no problem taking down Toronto all season long, now looks completely lost. The bats have gone silent, the pitching has been shaky, and honestly, it feels like the entire rhythm of the team disappeared the moment they landed in Canada. What's driving fans insane right now is not just the losing, it's the way the Blue Jays are winning. Every single swing seems to connect. Every ball finds a gap. Every pitch looks like it's being read before it even leaves the pitcher's hand. And that's exactly why the talk around baseball is starting to sound a lot like déjà vu. People are whispering or flat out shouting that this could be another sign-stealing scandal in the making. It's the kind of accusation that sends a chill down any fan's spine because, well, we've seen this movie before. Remember the Houston Astros back in the day? Yeah, that mess left scars all across Major League Baseball. And now, with Toronto playing like they've got the answers to a test before it's even handed out, the comparisons are unavoidable. The rumor floating around is that since the hotel connected to Rogers Center literally sits in center field, there could be cameras, signals, or some sort of setup that gives the Blue Jays a peek at what's coming. Sounds wild, right? But tell that to fans who are watching Vladimir Guerrero Jr. turn into an unstoppable force overnight. The guy looks like he's predicting pitches before they even happen. Of course, there's a counterpoint here too. Baseball is unpredictable. Teams catch fire at the right time all the time. Maybe this is just one of those moments where everything clicks for Toronto. They weren't exactly setting the world on fire before the postseason, but suddenly their lineup looks like a wrecking crew. Still, the numbers don't lie. The Blue Jays' home record during the season was dominant. 54 wins at home compared to a losing record on the road. That's not just a small difference. That's a huge gap. And when you mix that with how flawlessly they're playing right now, it's no surprise people are getting suspicious. Some fans online are convinced this is no coincidence. They're breaking down stats, pointing to how few strikeouts the Blue Jays have had at home, how their contact rate skyrockets, how their power numbers spike dramatically in Toronto. It's not just one or two people saying it either. Social media is full of posts calling on Major League Baseball to look into it. Of course, others are laughing it off, saying the Yankees are just looking for excuses. And let's be honest, that's fair to say too. This isn't the first time New York has struggled when it matters most. The team's postseason offense has been a weak spot for years. Still, when you watch these games, it's hard not to scratch your head. Every time the Yankees try to throw a breaking ball, it's like Toronto already knows it's coming. Every fastball gets squared up perfectly. There's just something off about it. Now, whether this due to cheating or just bad pitching, that's up for debate. But it's obvious this has rattled the Yankees fan base completely. They're frustrated, they're angry, and honestly, they're just tired of watching the same movie play out every October. Players, of course, aren't saying much. You can't really expect them to. No one in the Yankees clubhouse is going to come out and flatly accuse another team of cheating, not without solid proof. That's not how professional athletes operate. Even if they did believe something shady was happening, they'd never admit it in front of cameras. Instead, they'll say the usual, "We need to play better, we didn't execute, we'll bounce back." It's the standard line. But you can tell from their faces, from their body language, that this whole thing feels off. Meanwhile, fans are split. Some are demanding an investigation, claiming the league is turning a blind eye to another scandal. Others are telling everyone to calm down, that Toronto's just playing good baseball. And honestly, both sides have a point. Because yes, the Blue Jays have been phenomenal defensively and disciplined at the plate. They're not chasing bad pitches, they're not making mistakes, and they're capitalizing on every single Yankee error. That's championship caliber baseball. But also doesn't erase the weirdness surrounding how unstoppable they've suddenly become. One thing's for sure, this upcoming game is everything. Carlos Rodon is on the mound for New York, and the entire season basically hangs on his shoulders. If there's anyone you trust in a must-win game, it's him. The guy's a strikeout machine, and if there's ever a time for him to silence the noise, it's tonight. Fans are hoping he can go out there and dominate, not just to keep the Yankees alive, but to maybe prove once and for all whether this Blue Jays magic is legit or something else entirely. Because if Toronto suddenly starts missing pitches and striking out left and right once they're out of their own ballpark, well, that's going to raise even more eyebrows. But for now, the Yankees need to focus on themselves. Forget the rumors, forget the noise, and just play baseball. Because regardless of what's happening across the field, you can't win games if you don't hit. Aaron Judge, Giancarlo Stanton, Gleyber Torres, these guys have to step up. The Yankees lineup has too much talent to be this quiet. They've been through worse and come back before. In 2017, they were in a similar hole and fought back. History might just repeat itself if they can find that fire again. The fans in the Bronx are going to bring the energy. They always do. Yankee Stadium in elimination game is unlike anything else in baseball. The crowd's going to be loud, intense, and desperate to keep the season alive. And maybe, just maybe, that energy is what flips the switch. Because if the Yankees can grab one win, just one, then all of a sudden the pressure shifts back to Toronto. Then the whispers about cheating, luck, or whatever you want to call it, start to get louder. And once momentum starts to swing, anything can happen. Right now, though, it's all about fight. It's about pride. The Yankees can't let this series end in a sweep. They can't let this narrative of being overmatched and outplayed stick. Whether the Blue Jays are red hot or riding some secret advantage, New York has to respond. This team was built for moments like this, and it's time they start playing like it. The Bronx deserves better than this version of the Yankees. Fans have stuck by them through thick and thin, through heartbreak and disappointment, and now it's time for the team to deliver something to believe in. Because if they don't, then the offseason is going to be long and brutal. Questions will pile up about Aaron Boone, about the roster construction, about the team's direction. And maybe that's a conversation for another day, but right now, none of that matters. What matters is that there's still a chance, still a heartbeat, still a game left to play. And as long as there's a game, there's hope. The Yankees might be on the ropes, but they're not done yet. Not until the final out is recorded. All right, let's dive even deeper because the story doesn't stop with just the Yankees being on the ropes. What makes this whole situation so fascinating and frustrating for New York fans is how unpredictable baseball can be, especially in the postseason. The Blue Jays may be hitting like they've got the cheat codes, but the thing about baseball is that one swing, one pitch, or one defensive play can completely change the narrative. Everything can flip in a single inning. That's why Game 3 isn't just another game. It's a defining moment, a crossroads where the Yankees either start to claw their way back or they fall into a hole that could end their season. And if we're honest, watching this team on the field, you can feel the tension radiating. The bats aren't just quiet. They're almost ghostly. Every strike, every foul ball, every swing and miss seems to echo louder because of what's at stake. The pressure isn't hypothetical. It's crushing, and it's staring the Yankees right in the face. Now, about the whole cheating discussion, yes, it's in the air, and yes, it's making fans and analysts question everything. But let's take a step back and remember how this sport works. Sign stealing has been part of baseball for decades. Some teams get caught. Some teams don't. Some moments are obvious, and some are subtle. But regardless of whether anything shady is happening in Toronto, the fact is the Yankees have to play the game that's in front of them. No excuses, no pointing fingers. They need to execute on fundamentals. They need to hit, they need to field cleanly, and they need to pitch smart. That's it. Everything else is background noise. Aaron Judge, as always, is the focal point. He's not just a player. He's the embodiment of hope for the Yankees this postseason. Fans expect him to rise, to swing with confidence, to remind everyone why he's considered one of the best in the game. But the reality is, even players like him can be human. The pressure can weigh down on the biggest stars. And when the team as a whole is struggling, it magnifies every swing, every missed opportunity, every moment where a game could have gone differently. Judge isn't carrying this team alone, but his performance will set the tone. When he connects, the rest of the lineup feels it. When he struggles, the whole stadium feels that tension. It's a psychological battle as much as it is a physical one. The bullpen also becomes critical in moments like this. After the starters have done their job, the relievers have to step in and shut down the opposition. If even one reliever falters, the game slips away, momentum shifts, and the narrative of being overmatched solidifies. The Yankees know this, and that's why every pitch, every inning, every moment in this game is scrutinized. The fans, the analysts, the players themselves, everyone is watching, everyone is waiting, and everyone knows what's at stake. It's more than just a game. It's a fight for credibility, pride, and the chance to continue chasing a championship. And speaking of pride, the atmosphere in Yankee Stadium is going to play a huge role. The fans in the Bronx are some of the most passionate in all of sports. They don't just watch baseball, they live it. Every cheer, every chant, every roar can energize the players. And in elimination games, that energy matters even more. A loud, electric crowd can carry a team through tough innings, it can spark comebacks, and it can turn momentum on a dime. The Blue Jays might be red hot, they might look untouchable, but when the Yankees are playing at home in front of this kind of crowd, anything can happen. Baseball is a game of inches, and the crowd can influence those inches more than you might think. Let's not forget the history of the Yankees either. This franchise has been through every type of adversity imaginable. Teams have fallen behind in series, faced near impossible odds, and yet somehow found a way to fight back. It's in the DNA of this team, in the culture of the organization, and in the mindset of players who grew up dreaming of moments exactly like this. That history doesn't guarantee victory, but it certainly provides hope. It reminds everyone watching that the impossible isn't impossible for long in baseball. And while all of this speculation about cheating is swirling, there's also the simple fact that the Yankees have been outplayed at times this season. Toronto has been efficient, disciplined, and in control. It's not all about some hidden advantage. The Yankees have left pitches up, made defensive mistakes, and failed to capitalize on opportunities. That's the reality, and it's something that can't be ignored. Sometimes the story isn't about conspiracy. Sometimes it's about performance. And tonight, performance is what will decide everything. Carlos Rodon takes the mound, and all eyes are on him. The pressure is immense, but he has the talent and skill to rise to the occasion. Strikeout after strikeout, inning after inning, he has to impose his will on the game. The hitters have to adjust, the defense has to stay sharp, and every decision on the field matters. One mistake, one lapse in focus, and the game could swing entirely in Toronto's favor. That's the brutal reality of elimination baseball. There's no room for error, no room for miscalculation. But this is also why fans watch. Because in moments like this, baseball delivers drama that's unmatched. Every pitch carries weight, every swing carries history, and every out can change the trajectory of a season. The tension is unbearable, the excitement is palpable, and the stakes couldn't be higher. Fans know that if the Yankees can seize this game, if they can take control, they can extend their season and rewrite the narrative. The Blue Jays might be hot, the crowd might be loud, the odds might seem stacked, but baseball has a way of humbling even the hottest teams. One win can shift momentum, and once momentum is in your favor, nothing is off limits. But before we continue, please remember to join our channel and give this video a like. Your support allows us to keep bringing you the latest news about the New York Yankees. Feel free to share your thoughts on the news in the comments. New York might just have landed its next bullpen monster. According to whispers circling both coasts, flame-throwing closer Josh Hader is on his way to the Bronx, set to take over the sacred ninth inning for the New York Yankees. While no official announcement has yet been made, insiders are buzzing that the deal is essentially done, with only final paperwork and medicals left to cross. If true, it would mark one of the most electric bullpen signings in recent Yankees history and send a shockwave through the American League. Hader, known for his fearsome fastball-slider combo and a glare that could freeze hitters in their cleats, has long been the kind of pitcher Yankee fans dream of seeing stride out of the bullpen gate under the lights of Yankee Stadium. He's been one of the most dominant relievers of the past decade, a perennial all-star with a strikeout rate that borders on the absurd. If the rumors are to be believed, Haters or rival signals that the Yankees are doubling down on their win-now mentality, looking to close out games with a dominance reminiscent of the Rivera era. Sources around the league are describing the move as vintage Yankees, bold, aggressive, and headline-grabbing. It's the kind of signing that reignites the mystique of the pinstripes and stirs up that old Bronx swagger. Opposing teams are already taking note, knowing that late rallies could now die at the hands of haters' wicked stuff. There's still plenty of secrecy around the deal. Numbers haven't surfaced, and neither side has made a public statement, but the buzz is deafening. Reporters have spotted haters' agent in New York, and several players have hinted on social media that something big is brewing. Could the Yankees finally have found their answer for the ninth inning? If so, the rest of the league might want to brace for a lot of long, quiet walks back to the dugout once that bullpen door swings open. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to keep receiving exclusive news about the New York Yankees, please subscribe to our channel and give us a like. We always appreciate your comments and opinions. See you in the next video.